Alright, we just arrived in London and we only have a half a day, but we're going to go ahead and ride this London Eye, they call it. They also have a nice park right here. Alright, there's Big Ben clock way over there.
That's the shop. Right, look. What's that to make first?
Here's another one coming in. Here's those double-decker buses in London. There's Big Ben. And over here is the Ferris wheel that we just got done riding on. A final shot of Big Ben. Okay, we're getting ready to get on the London Tube. We are at Buckingham Palace, and after this we're going to walk over to St. James Park. Okay, here's a front shot of Buckingham Palace.
Didn't we get to walk up to them before?
And here's the statue in front of Buckingham Palace. Alright, here is the statue at the top. Okay, so we're going to walk through St. James Park. We're going to start here, go down by the water, and go all the way down there. Very nice temperature out. Tammy likes the swans. Pretty, very pretty. There's a pretty side view. Alright, so nice day in the park. Everyone's just relaxing. A nice little ice cream stop in the park. Lots of people laying out in the grass. So I think we're just going to sit here for about 10 minutes, relax. This is Trafalgar Square. There's Trafalgar Square. Now we're going to go to St. Paul's Cathedral. There's the dome on top of St. Paul's Cathedral. Where are we at?
We are in Turkey, Istanbul.
Istanbul. One, two, three. Just arrived at our hotel in Jerusalem. This is our hotel in Jerusalem, the Crown Plaza. We arrived at the Holocaust Museum. We're going to go ahead and do our tour. Right, you're not allowed to bring cameras inside the museum. We're walking in. We're walking through the Mahuda Market and a whole bunch of vendors selling stuff. And just another shot of the market. There's an assortment of olives. I think they got something of everything in here. Now we're going to go try to find the food. We got our dinner. Just some pasta, soup, and a roll.
Are looking to build the temple. Then you see the pillars? The pillars was right here. It's part of the sidewalk.
One of the synagogues. We're at the Western Wall, and we're getting ready to put our notes in the wall. I'm ready to put my note in the wall. Here we go. Let's see, let's find a spot here. There's a tough spot. And here's the women. The women have to go on the other side of the wall. This is the inside of the wall where you're allowed to pray in the shade. Here's the kids studying the Torah. this is the Muslim quarter. Armenian quarter. There we go. There's the mixed falafels. Chicken and lamb. Okay, the Church of the Holy Shrine. This is the main church.
Welcome to the most important place in the world for you. This is the place that Jesus was crucified, died, been buried, and resurrected from the dead. We call it the Holy Sepulchre Church, the Holy Tomb.
Okay, we're going to walk inside. A famous stone where you put stuff. Where they laid Jesus. Smile! Hold on. The tomb of Jesus, supposedly. Okay, we're going down to a cistern. Okay.
Cool.
So this was from 1600 years ago. This is where they got water and they brought it into the church. It's a big open area where you can get water in a cistern. Okay, we're going down to the bottom of the cistern. And it looks like there's a raft we can go on. Alright, so here is station 3. It's where Jesus falls for the first time. This is station 4, where Jesus meets his mom. Alright, this is station number 7. This is where Jesus fell for the second time. At the top of the Austrian hospice. Austrian hospice. I think now it's a hotel, but it's very nice here, relaxing. And St. Anne's Church. Now we're going to look at the pools of Bethesda, which is all down here. We're going down to a cistern in St. Anne's Church area. And here we go. So we're in the cistern. Again, another one. And the Western Wall again. I'll relax and have some food now. I wrote another note and I put it in the wall. Here we go. Tammy just wrote a note and she's going to go put it in the wall. There she goes. There goes Tammy. We're going to the Western Wall tunnel tour for about an hour and 10 minutes. Okay, this is our ticket to the tunnels. Inside the tunnel.
The temple's destroyed, the Western Wall is still there. What's your name, Steve?
Walking through the tunnels. So this is one stone from here all the way over there.
This stone, this is 13.6 meters, 4.5, 3.5, 2.7 tons per cubic meter, meaning that it weighs in at over 500 tons.
Walking in the underneath tunnel of the wall. This is how the stones were 2,000 years ago. Laid in perfect. There's the stone. That's cool. Plenty of room. Okay, this is the aqueduct where the water came out. Oh, that's pretty cool. Cistern. Wow.
1996, they opened up the exit here, which is now.
So this is the old city in Jerusalem, right by Jaffa Gate, and once a year they have the Festival of Lights. pretty cool. Hey, this is part of the Festival of Lights. This is by Jaffa Gate. Here's another Festival of the Lights thing. This is the center of the display. We had a fun day. Did a lot of stuff.
Did a lot.
We're gonna catch that tram right there. Go right back to the hotel. So only in Israel do they have a kosher McDonald's. We just got our kosher ice cream from kosher McDonald's. This is our pool at the hotel.
The Amorites, the Canaanites, and went all the way north. Sits on a tel. And look at the size of the cemetery. The Jewish cemetery, the most ancient active cemetery in the world for the last 2,800 years. Well, for centuries, when we found it, it was a pile of small stones covering.
Alright, so this is the room of the Last Supper, the supposable area. May not be the exact location, but this is the area they celebrate it at. The Tomb of King David. The Cardo. This is the cardio where people actually walked 2,000 years ago. The original road.
Everyone comes here for shopping, everyone comes here to see the friends.
This is how the cardio looked back in the day, 2,000 years ago. So on the cardio they have a whole bunch of Jewish shops. And we're going to go into one that makes all their art from recycled plastic. This is the ancient city walls. There's the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Jewish quarter mosaic. This is the city wall of David from 3,000 years ago. This is the original wall. Golden menorah. Those stones
Before the 1970s,
below the stairwell.
we'll be able to look at what we're looking at right now.
Those stones below the stairwell are right there.
Such a thing.
This is the city of David. There's the royal quarter, and they have a bathroom over there. It's like a stone with a hole in it. So these are the tomb entrances carved in the rock. Ancient burial places from 3,000 years ago, those holes.
We continue.
Here's a pomegranate tree. Okay, going down an orange shaft water system. Going down.
This is also the place that after King David died and his son King Solomon, this is the place where he was anointed, appointed to be a king.
Okay, today we're going to the left, the dry tunnel. Tomorrow, the wet tunnel. This is the dry tunnel. Nice and dry. The dry tunnel. Alright. The Shiloh pool.
Narrow pool, something like this width, and
Let them walk around you.
No, it's fine. So we're back at the Holocaust Museum to finish up a couple hours since we didn't see it all in the first 5 hours. Okay, we just finished the Holocaust Museum. Here's the Breakfast of Champions. Coffee and a croissant. Going in the Jaffa Gate to head over to the City of David to do Hezekiah Tunnel, the water tunnel. Here's Tammy getting ready to go in the Hezekiah Tunnel. Woo!
What is the first thing that King David did as a king?
We're going in the Hezekiah Tunnel. This is where it starts. So it'll be about 45 minutes in a water tunnel with a little flashlight.
And you
There goes Tammy. Hezekiah Tunnel. cold. Oh, that's cold.
It's getting deeper.
Here's what the tunnel looks like with no light. That's what the tunnel looks like with light. And alright, how do you like it?
All good.
Oh, good. I thought you'd like it. It does get low. It's only about like 5 feet tall here. Making my way through. It's a little narrow here. Yeah, this gets pretty narrow up here. One long tunnel. Here's all the people behind me. There we go. Whee! Yeah, there's a big cave in here now. It says, you are standing at the place where the Shiloh inscription written approximately 2,700 years ago during the reign of King Hezekiah was discovered. Alright, I got you on video, and there's Tammy ending the tunnel, and the water comes up to your knees. Not too bad. Alright, walking out of the tunnel. The last stairs. Out of the tunnel. Woo! And that's the end. Woo, we made it. Alright, that was pretty cool. There we go, a little playground. Alright, now that was fun. Fun. Woo! Okay, so this is what it used to look like. And the other side. Kidwin Valley. Have a good time. So I found a friendly Israeli cat. Hold on, I got a close up on. You like the tunnel so much, we're going to do it one more time. There's people coming out of the tunnel.
Let's go up.
Let's go up to the mountain.
Okay, we're at the City of David, getting ready to leave. We did the City of David excavations. You know, we just had some calzones at this outdoor cafe, which is nice. Another kosher McDonald's. First 4 nights we stayed at the Crown Plaza. For the next 2 nights we're going to stay at the Ramada Inn. Here we are at the Mount of Olives, the Chapel of Ascension. This is the Chapel of Ascension in Mount Olives.
Okay, right now we're in the Chapel of Ascension. This is a panoramic
Go slow.
of Jerusalem. There, the Gold Dome is the Dome of the Rock.
Here's a cemetery. Mount Olives has graves from 3,000 years ago. We're walking around the cemetery in Mount Olives. Another section. And one more picture of the grave sites. Church of Gethsemane. This is the rock in the Church of Gethsemane. These are the olive trees next to the Church of Gethsemane that are possibly up to 2,000 years old. And one more shot of the olive trees. This is the Lion's Gate, birthplace of Mary. Getting ready to go inside the tomb. Going inside. Last time at the Western Wall. Here's a spice shop, lots of spices. Here's the Temple Mount and Spices. Across a little bridge here, kind of a neat lit up bridge. We're taking the bus to our Dead Sea Hotel. That's Jordan across the waterway. There's Masada. We're gonna go there tomorrow. Crown Plaza Dead Sea Hotel. We just arrived at the Crown Plaza in the Dead Sea. This is the regular pool. This is the indoor pool at the hotel with the Dead Sea water. Here is the private beach for the Dead Sea, which we're going to come in a little bit later. Nice little sandy entrance. Got some shaded areas with these canopies. Here's a view from our hotel area. Here's the Dead Sea mud.
Got the same thing on
I
it.
got small bins, big bins. And there we are driving. That's the view. We're walking to the Engedi David Waterfall. Eating the berries. And there's a lower waterfall. Walking in the waterfall. Smile. One way is to enter, one way is to exit. People are playing in the waterfall pool. Wait high. Alright, there's Tammy in the waterfall. We're almost at the top of the main waterfall area. There's the top half of the waterfall. Going up to the waterfall. Now this is pretty cool. Cooling off. We're almost to the main waterfall, David Waterfall. There's David Waterfall coming through the trees. Here's the other side of the waterfall. Lots of people here walking around having fun. Alright, we're leaving here now, going back to the Dead Sea. Here's our room at the Dead Sea Hotel. And we got our balcony. Seems like we always get balconies. So we're going to go hang out at the Dead Sea down there and get all mudded up. We bought some mud. And then after we get all mudded up and go in the Dead Sea, then we're going to hang out in our pool down there. Here we go to the Dead Sea, put on some mud, and jump in the Dead Sea. This is the bucket of mud we bought. We're just going to put it on ourselves. This is Tammy mudding me up. Hold it down, I think. Here's me and Tammy.
I think we were in the second game.
All mudded up. Got you on video. Okay, we got our Dead Sea mud on. So now we got to go and rinse off. And we're all mudded up. Getting ready to go rinse off in a second. There goes Tammy in the Dead Sea. There's Tammy floating in the Dead Sea. There she is, floating in the Dead Sea. Yeah, floating away. Floating in the Dead Sea?
I'm floating in the Dead Sea.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm floating too. There you go, you're floating. I'm floating too.
Yeah, dog.
Got my feet up. We're going in the pool because we had a lot of fun in the Dead Sea. So here we go.
There's our hotel. Our hotel, our hotel, our hotel. There's Johnny.
Okay, food time. Bingo. We're leaving the hotel, going to Masada. This is a view from our hotel looking west. That's Masada in the upper right. Here comes the cable car from Masada. We're gonna go up to the top. There's the view from the back. There's the cable car. And there's the down. We're walking up to the top. There's the Dead Sea. That's a little representation of the place. There's the storeroom complex. This is where they stored the food. Everything above the black line was recreated. Everything below the black line is supposedly authentic. The Commandments residence. Northern Palace entrance. Okay, here's a large bathhouse. That's a pretty elaborate bathhouse. There's the bathhouse. We're going down to the two lower palaces. Heading down to the lower palace. Did you say you're a local resident of Masada? I thought so. Here's some original facade with the pillars. And another face shot of it, front shot. Here's one of the cisterns that held water. There's about 11 or 12 of these things manually dug out here that between all of them they held about 1 million gallons of water. There's the water cistern. Here's a synagogue. One of the earliest known synagogues. This is where the Romans breached the wall. Okay, this is the area where the Romans built their big device and wheeled it up here. And they broke into Masada, only to find 1,000 dead people that committed suicide. Okay, and this building is where they made leather. Okay, the Western Palace. Kind of have to imagine a little bit more of a palace than the ruins here. Mosaic. This is one of the cisterns, 64 stairs down. This is a really huge cistern. There is Tammy at the other end of the cistern in the little opening. The king had a huge swimming pool built up on the top of the mountain. 19,000 cubic feet of water. There's the southern point of Masada. We're at a crossroad. We're going to Eilat. 2.5 hour drive south. Driving through the desert area. Nothing out here. Here we are at the Eilat Crown Plaza Hotel. There's the Red Sea in the background. Picture from our second floor balcony. Here's the pool area at our Crown Plaza Hotel in Eilat. They got a pool table and a pool. And they got a rock climbing wall too.
What if you use the pool? You have to like...
Okay, it is dusk. There's our Crown Plaza Hotel. Walking on a promenade over here. It's pretty nice. The Red Sea and Eilat. There's a picture of the Red Sea. There's a party boat out there with some good music. It's the next morning and we're going to Petra today from Eilat. Passport control to Jordan. Here we go. Welcome to Jordan. Here we go. Okay, we're at a rest stop in Jordan on our way to Petra, and there's these Bedouin tents. These are what people live in. A lot of people just... We have made it to Petra. Okay, there's our entrance ticket to Petra. Walking down to Petra. It's about a 3-mile walk one way. That's a pretty cool little formation.
Symbolize one person, one soul.
So 4 people were buried there. Cave out? Yeah. Alright, getting closer to the SIG. And here we go into the SIG. Here.
The other part.
A neat formation.
Take a photo.
That's cool. Neat little walkway. Another interesting corridor. I just think it's kind of cool seeing these this horse carriage. Kind of bouncy in there.
It's like it's closed, but it's not really closed. So as you're getting there, you can see much better the view.
It's like in a shaded area. Nice, very nice. It's hard to see, but there's 2 feet right there. So this is the part that was in the Indiana Jones movie. As you walk out of the SIG, you come up to the monastery, or I'm sorry, the treasury. So that's a pretty tall structure.
Hold on.
Pretty tall, pretty tall. So here is a close-up of the facade. Hard to see. That doorway right there is probably about 35 feet high.
Like banana peel, I guess.
Okay, so here is where they buried people inside one of these rooms. And this is what the burial sites look like. Here are some other tombstones carved out on the wall. Okay, here is an old theater they had where a lot of people used to hang out here. But a little more interesting is these camels coming up. Royal tombs. Royal tombs.
That time made shish kebab.
Roman colonnades. Here we are, going to do the 900 steps up to the monastery. There's the valley. There are some wild goats. Going up. About halfway up, over halfway. Lots of stairs. Another 5 more minutes. Okay, here is the monastery up at the top. Pretty cool. Okay, one more shot of the monastery. Going to try to walk in here. That's how big the doorway is. There's a guy standing there. Alright, we made it in. Pretty high entranceway. And this is what the inside looks like. Top of the world. Best view in Petra. One more view of the monastery from up the top. Okay, there's Tammy. She made it to the top of the world. Heading back down. There goes the donkeys. We're heading back down about another half hour before we get to the bottom of the... Don't get the camel mad. He'll spit on you. Yeah, that is pretty. We're walking over to the royal tombs. Here's one of the royal tombs. Another shot. Here we go in the royal tomb. The royal tomb. This is inside the tomb here, the royal tomb. It's like maybe 6 different cavities. We're leaving Petra. The last view of the treasury. To get an idea how big it is, look at the 2 people on the bottom right, how small they are compared to the entrance. Neat little area. Okay, one last shot of the SIG. Just arrived at our hotel. There's a swimming pool. This is in Jordan. And there we go up to the hotel. We had a fun day in Petra, and now we're at our hotel in Jordan. They're saying the prayer in the background, and we're having dinner at our hotel. A pretty nice setup here. We're almost to Wadi Rum. Okay, you gotta watch out. There's a camel on the road. You gotta watch out for the camels. We just arrived in Wadi Rum. Just gonna go to the visitor center real fast, and then we're gonna hop in a Jeep and drive around the desert. This is where they filmed Lawrence of Arabia. Pretty cool view. a pyramid. Tea time. And have a little tea in here. There's our guy. Some camels. So there's Tammy on the sand dune.
That's Johnny. Now he's coming towards me. He's running down the sand dune.
Alright, we're gonna walk in a canyon. See some ancient graffiti. Alright, so we're getting ready to walk in this big canyon here. With this big tree in the front, which is kind of funny. So we walk along this ledge here, which leads us into the canyon. So here's the canyon. Okay. Walking back in the canyon. So that is the end of the tunnel right here. And walking back out the canyon. There's yoga in the desert. He found some kindling wood in the desert. There he comes. That fire is going good now. Alright, get ready for lunch. Alright, we're getting ready to continue on now. We just finished lunch. Riding back. Taxi cab guys playing some music. Camel crossing. Camel crossing. There we go. Okay, we made it back to Israel. Welcome to Israel. Okay, we made it to Egypt. Here we go to see the pyramids. We're starting here in Taba. This is Egypt. We're going to drive about 3 hours down to the southern tip of the Sinai. This is Egypt and Sinai. We're going to go down here. There's this place called Sharm El Sheikh. Sharm El Sheikh. We're going to go shopping in there for about 2 or 3 hours. Let's say from 8 p.m. tonight to 11. And then we're going to drive 4 hours up this route to here, and then we're going to cross here and go to Cairo. It takes about an hour from here. So as we're driving, we got the police escort behind us. Alright, so we're eating here with our guide. Another couple, our mom and a son, and Tammy and the security guy. The security guy carries a gun next to Tammy with the tie. So it's almost midnight in Egypt, and there's people riding camels in the road. We're gonna walk around the old market. We are walking around in Egypt with a security guy behind us with a machine gun. So there's street after street of shops. There's people everywhere, and it's after midnight now. Here is our van that we're taking over to the pyramids. We just crossed over the Suez Canal, stopped here for a little rest stop. We just arrived at the Cairo Museum, and we're getting ready to go inside. We just left the Egyptian Museum. So here is the Nile River in Egypt, and it's pretty wide. Okay, so there are the pyramids we're going to go over to. Alright, here's the Pyramids of Giza. We're going to eventually walk inside it. There's the pyramids.
Well, they don't like it in 50 something like that.
There's another pyramid in the background. One more shot of the pyramid. And then here's another pyramid over here. Okay, so we just walked down one of the tombs. We're in the center of it. Bye-bye, camel. There's the Sphinx. The Sphinx in Egypt. Alright, there's the Sphinx and the pyramid in the background. Alright, very cool. Sphinx and the pyramid. The Giza Pyramid. We're driving back in this van for a 10-hour drive back to Israel. And it is one crazy drive leaving Cairo. Okay, we're diving in Eilat in the Red Sea. Pretty good. There's Tammy. There's a whole bunch of people by the shore. They're getting ready to fly to Tel Aviv in this flight. That big white building is our hotel for the next 2 nights. Orchid, Tel Aviv, right on the beach on the Mediterranean. That's where Armageddon is supposed to happen. We just arrived in Nazareth. We'll just spend a little time here. Nazareth, they have the Grotto of Annunciation, and they got Mary's Well.
And she was announced by the angel Gabriel by the spring that she's going to have the Lord in her body.
This is where the Annunciation takes place. This is the well where Mary used to collect water. The Church of St. Joseph. Entrance to his apartment. One more picture before we leave this area.
Original baptisterium from the Byzantine time.
A mosaic in the 6th century.
The lotus flower. You see the lotus flower?
So that's the room where supposedly the 2 loaves of bread and the fish multiplication took place. This is the area that Jesus lived for 3 years of his life. And here's another area. Here's the Sea of Galilee.
The Eastern, because in those days when the temple was existent, it should be a synagogue, as you can see, on the
Play area for the kids, 1700 years ago. There's inscriptions on the ground for where they played games.
When the family passed away. Up to date,
There's
this
a menorah.
tradition is increased. This is the Mount of
Tiberias.
Galilee. This is the Golanite.
Golan Heights. Bronze sculpture of St. Peter. Alright, statue. Ready to have some lunch. At a kibbutz. Just south of Sea of Galilee and on the Jordan River to see the baptism site of Jesus. This is Tammy throwing bread down to the fish on the Jordan River where Jesus was baptized. There goes someone to get baptized while we're feeding the fish in the Jordan River. Here's all the catfish that Tammy's feeding pita bread to. So there is a prison for terrorists, according to our tour guide. Hey, here's a video outside our 12th floor hotel in Tel Aviv, overlooking the Mediterranean. Here's the promenade. We're gonna go jump in the ocean. Alright, here we go. Waiting for a big wave. Whoa! There's the big wave. Are you ready, duck? Oh, shoot. sunset's going down. We just arrived at Caesarea National Park, the Roman Theater. A lot of the statues have no heads because when people came in, the next people that came here to take over basically chopped off the heads and then put their own head. This theater was built around 22 BC. Obviously it's been restored a little bit. There's a close-up of the original floor. We're walking out of the theater. That's how the theater used to look. Some other capitals from BC period. This is where the Roman palace was located. This is the swimming pool that was created back then. Here are some mosaic floors that were just uncovered in the last 3 years that they never knew about. Here's another mosaic. So this is where horse racing took place for entertainment. This is Hoffa Gardens, a really pretty area. Just arrived at Hoffa Gardens.
Take some pictures.
A very, very pretty place.
Please, if you want. That was named Mirza Hussein, was punished, and he was sent here to the jail by the
Hoffa Gardens.
Is also a number. For example, Aleph is 1.
This is a view of Hoffa Gardens from the bottom looking up.
There is no slower than me now.
Danger of death if you climb this pole because there's wires up there.
Old city.
Making a copper. Here's Tammy's bracelet. He just made it and gave it to her. Okay, we're at the Acre Citadel, the Knights Hall. Here's where the Crusaders basically hung out around the 1st century. Here's some more of the original structure. There's a hallway that's preserved pretty well. So we're going into the tunnel.
We didn't say anyone's name.
It used to be the sewage of the city.
So here we go into the sewage system.
You need a
There's
break.
Tammy. The crypt. Okay, this is the crypt. This is where the treasures were. Okay, we're at this place. We're going to go in some caves called the Blue Grotto. It's the northern tip of Israel, right literally on the Lebanon border. This is the coastline looking south. This is the UN right here. Only they're allowed to go up that hill. We're walking to the cable car to going down. This is our ride down to the bottom of the caves. Hey, how we go? Into the little red car. We're going to the grottos. This is Rosh Hanakra. The grottos. Here's one grotto. The outside view. We are leaving the grotto area of Rosh Hanakra. We're going to go up that little yellow basket up the hill.
Let me get a picture of you.
The sun is setting on our last night in Tel Aviv. And there's the sunset. We're going to go ride bikes on the boardwalk for about an hour and a half. Our hotel provides bikes for free, so we're going to go ride on the promenade for a couple hours. There's Tammy up there. Yeah, the sun just set. We're going to ride our bikes to Old Jaffa. And let's go. That's from Australia. This bike trail even the green lights for the cars, there's also green lights for the bicycles. You'll see them on the upper right there, and the up and now it's getting a little darker. Once again, we're in Tel Aviv, riding our bikes to Old Jaffa. Alright, catching up to Tammy. There's another shot of Old Jaffa. Tammy is standing next to the Jonah of Wales statue. This is the top of Jaffa, like an old city. It's pretty nice up here. Here's a neat little waterfall at the top of Jaffa, or a water fountain. Here comes Tammy on the bike. It's a really nice area up here. We are going to ride our bikes back to the hotel, and that's the coastline right there. Outdoor volleyball courts on the beach, and a lot of outdoor restaurants. Here's a Jewish celebration of something. I found out what this van does is Jewish people driving around the streets blasting Jewish songs, and we asked the guy at our hotel why they do it, and he said they do it just to promote happiness. We just arrived in Rome on Pegasus Airlines. We are now in Rome, and we're at the Basilica. We were here about 10 years ago, and the Pope was actually speaking right under that white tent in the middle, and he's since obviously passed away, and he's actually now buried in that basilica. Here's a guard at the door. This is huge. I'm going to do 3 views. Okay, this is me standing in the center looking straight ahead. Now I'm going to turn left. And this is me looking up at the ceiling. They got coming down. And I'm going to do a 180 here. And look up. The ceiling's really cool up there. This place is huge. Here's the main center view. I'm going to pan up to see the dome. Okay, I'm panning up to see the dome. Okay, so this was Paul II, the one that we saw about 10 years ago. Okay, here's a list of the popes, and we just saw the tomb of the last one. Okay, here's a guard. 2 guards. Okay, we're walking to Piazza Nuovo, some scenic areas along the way. Just a neat little haul or stroll. Whoa. Hello. We finally reached Piazza Nuovo. And there's a whole bunch of restaurants on each side. One of the statues in Piazza Nuovo. It's 6 or 7, the bell's ringing. Cool picture of the statue. It's pizza time with some beer. Pizza and beer. Yum. Here's the Trevi Fountain. The funny part is it's being remodeled and there's no water. We are going to go to the Colosseum because the Trevi Fountain is dry. Tammy and I are at the Trevi Fountain in Rome.
Well, that's kind of cool, that Egyptian.
We're going to throw our coins over the wall for Make-A-Wish. Okay, Make-A-Wish. Here we go. You ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, we threw our coins over. So lots of people out having dinner. A nice little walkway again. Going to the Colosseum. And this is just one of the sites on the way. This is some structures from the 2nd century BC in Rome. Another structure from 1st century AC. This is a structure from the year number 2 AC. And here's what this used to look like back in 2 AC. We have arrived at the Colosseum. We're getting ready to fly back to JFK. We stopped at the United Lounge since I had some extra passes, and this terminal has just opened up last week, and they've got tons of awesome food in this United Lounge. So we're leaving the United Club Lounge. It's the biggest one in the world. We're at Heathrow Airport in London, and this is a brand new Terminal 2 that just opened yesterday. The Queen was here to do the opening ceremony.